2 minutes real quick, if I can.
Alright.
By the way, Joyce, are you leaving up to me when I return to dorm?
Oh,
Oh, she's a small.
what happened to Mo? What's she
She went. I don't know. I didn't make her small.
I was just gonna tilt her a bit.
Oh.
You made her real
Hashtag
small.
tilted. Throw in some salt, will ya?
Alright. Well, since Dave is taking some time to adjust, you can talk about this lovely meal.
By the way, I don't know if I was heard. Is it up to me, Jess, to decide if I'm back at the dorm, or are you gonna say that, okay, you are back? Just want to be sure.
You decide. You can decide.
Okay. So I will be fashionably late. Like they start and then I'm like, oh hey! Guess what?
Okay.
So you have some pickled vegetables, which is sukimono. You have your rice, which is gohan.
Mm-hmm.
You have your bowl of miso soup, which is miso siro.
You sound so angry.
And then you can have some pork with it. There you go.
I was gonna do some grilled stuff, some yakimono.
Oh.
Some nice rice. I like the pickled vegetables. I was gonna say that.
What
You
is a
beat
typical
that to me, so
Japanese
good
meal?
work. No, yeah, exactly.
Burn.
That was good. Yeah. The yakimono. It's an array of stuff since they just went out a little bit of everything. Some grilled veggies, some grilled
Did you
fish.
both go to the same site?
No. I was just thinking of stuff. Just something simple. Yeah, it's warm. Nice in the cold hot days. Some nice, oh shit, what's it called? What's the sauce called on this? So I don't remember it, but it's like
Sour.
a soy. It's like a soy sesame oil sort of, or sesame sort of. A bit sweet sort of sauce on most of them. You know, so the meats are a bit savory and sweet. The veggies are crunchy, sweet. Fish is, I don't really like fish normally, but grilled, nice, tender, stuff like that. Yeah, it's great. There you go. Enjoy.
Ikitakimasu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. Thanks, Kaharu.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Gaharu.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy.
Get in here.
So, how was everyone's day?
I'm glad you asked, Akira. It was and then I cut myself, look at Genda. It was fantastic. By the way, sarcasm, you can hear it in my voice. It's no mistaking it. As I imagine, I don't think I might be a little bit pale, but I'm not sure. But it's pretty obvious that I'm definitely not calm.
Cool.
Fantastic.
But hey, and then I take a bit of the food. The food's good. Thumbs up to Koharu. Thanks. Good thing that happened to me today.
Okay, of course. That's glad you liked it. Rio, how was your day?
It was fine.
Oh, great. Anyone else? Of course. She's like slowly trying to put down her plate, looking around at this fucking silent horde.
I had everybody apart from Japanese had cross class today.
Yeah, it was weird.
Mr. Landon doesn't like cross classes.
He doesn't really look like he likes a lot of things, to be fair. But, I mean, I guess he just doesn't like dealing with people who aren't listening to him or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, weird. Well, I mean, I guess it was a pretty easy day coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the confidence.
So... No.
What? Just eating. Guess there's not many dinner topics. Guess we can move on.
Yeah. Fucking autismo Japanese kids.
I guess so. I mean, I guess Akira and Shizuka chit-chat, and Koharu looks anxiously over the table of silent people.
Doesn't know if we're basically we're poisoned or just we're enjoying the meal.
Yeah. Hey.
Trust me, nothing could poison me anymore, and I could run, but hey, don't want to sour the mood.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is how you're supposed to eat.
Yeah, exactly. That's great, Rico! Car says, trying to smile. Thank you.
So since Rav wanted to talk about the important stuff, now he's back. We can do that.
Ambush at the dinner table.
It's your cue.
Yep. I guess sort of at one point Raph sort of looks over at Rio. Should we talk about the stuff now or wait till afterwards and go to the meeting room?
What? We're having another meeting?
I had a conversation with Shin today, and there's just some stuff I figure we need to figure out. So do you look at her also? Go.
Perhaps wait until we're finished.
Got it.
Hey, I'm all for keeping up to date with things, but can't we, have, I don't know, an email group of things? I mean, I kind of got homework to do. I mean, I'm not saying this isn't important, but I'm saying I'm seeing a worrying trend so far.
I'll try to keep it short.
Yeah.
Any dessert?
There's some shaved ice and syrup I could get.
I've got some in my room. I'll go eat dessert there.
Alright,
Okay.
see ya. Yeah. Great.
Did I chase her away?
Nah!
Yeah, I'll have some of that shaved ice. Alright, we'll go get the dessert, I guess. Can we fucking move on?
I'm gonna help. This will help me
Yes.
cool the head. Move on.
Yeah, Raph helps.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
So everyone to the meeting room then?
Guess so. With the shaved ice.
Kirill texts Shizuka smooth.
yeah, as I plop down Like basically Reiko looks like a mix between not giving a fuck and being agitated.
And then she'll send her a picture of a slightly sad-looking Koharu. Saying you did this.
Stop these.
Hey man, it's the truth.
Ooh.
And that's what she sees. That's
You
what she
can't
did.
handle that proof.
Who eats ice for actual substance?
It's a Japanese thing. The shaved ice and syrups.
She will not
It's like
retract.
sherbet, Jess.
Shaved
Well,
ice is the same thing as a snow cone, Jess.
Yeah, it's like
Not-
sherbet or a snow cone.
She will not retract her statement.
Ouch.
Kira sends her one more guilty-looking Koharu photo holding shaved ice.
She's an anti-ISIS, I guess.
I'm against ISIS also.
So, Ralph, chop.
Yeah.
What is about?
All right. I guess the main thing that really needs to be done is, at this point, due to circumstances, Shin is going to have a constant shadow in the Doctor. He's not going to leave him alone a minute. Which basically and so I've talked with Shin a little bit. There's some other things we need to talk about, but the main thing is just that we can communicate with Shin in a quote-unquote, secure environment, because apparently Shin can come to us in our dreams and actually talk with us.
Kira raises her hand.
Yeah.
Remember yesterday when we found that out?
No, but I
We
mean,
talked about it.
what I mean is he can actively come in and not like send a dream, but actually come and talk to us in our dreams. The only thing is basically he can only do it with
What's the fucking difference?
That's what he did yesterday. He sent a message.
but he didn't. All right.
Difference being your thing, he can come pictures.
That doesn't sound that different to me. And Koharu's just gonna be like, Kira, be nice. It's a bit different.
Also, unfortunately, the thing is he can only do that with some of us. He basically said, just at this point, it's me, Koharu, and Rio.
Oh. Why?
I think it has something to do with our personas. Those are the ones that he, quote-unquote, arranged for us.
Oh, that makes sense.
I basically told him that he can, sort of as a test run, he can come to me tonight in my dream. I didn't know if you guys would enjoy that or not, so I did say I would send him a text if you were open to him coming to visit you tonight. Otherwise, you can talk to him in private about whether or not this is acceptable for you as a mode of conversation when we want to have a secure conversation with him.
Cool.
Ashrak,
So that's-
still have to meet him in person. As the Phoenix said. Fucking
Yeah.
bird.
Mainly, this is just a way of getting around the fact that the Doctor's also going to be around him now.
Who's the Doctor exactly?
I didn't get a lot. I mean, I don't. It seems to be somebody that basically just has a unhealthy interest in Shin at this point, or maybe he's sidelining, watching us through him.
Do you
I
have a
don't know- I
name?
didn't-
That's a probably simpler question.
Unhealthy? Is he doing things to Shin?
He's not letting Shin out of his sight for a second, basically. So it just seems a complete lockdown on Shin. That, and also, I definitely get the impression that Shin can't come out of the school anymore. He can't go on any more little weekend travels with us.
Oh. That's it.
So, go.
Excuse me. No, it's fine. That's just
Though Shin did, okay. Though Shin did say that basically he can escape that guy whenever he wants to when we go to collect a card. Because that seems basically Shin can then just open whatever thing he needs to open when we go in.
Okay.
I can put it all in text later, but the other big thing is also we talked a little bit about what happens to people after we take their card from them. So
Okay.
a lot of it we already kind of knew, but this is just for confirmation that I don't entirely understand all this. So I need to do some research. But the point is that it's all.
Wait, I thought you said we know what happens now. You just said you don't. Raph!
What I meant was we have the information. The point is basically it's all connected with their, quote unquote, capital D dream, and that when we take the card, we radically change that, and their dream is basically. Okay, you want to tell us what's going on?
Yes, they have a dream, and we take the card, and it goes away.
Doesn't go away completely though.
What? Yes, it does.
When we take the card, we change their dream, so they might still have some ability of what they had before. It's just going to change them radically. But we can alter that slightly, so we might be able to save their dream slightly.
I don't think that's how this is going to work, Raph. You don't take a dream away and it kind of sits there.
No, we change their dream. We don't take it away. It's not like they're not going to have a dream afterward. They're going to have a radically altered one.
They'll have a different one, yeah.
What I was trying to say is that I think we have some control over basically what's left over. So we have some control over what's at...
No.
Okay.
I don't think you know how this works. It's not like we can, set someone up for that. When you take something away, it doesn't get filled by something magically. You take it away. Maybe it will one time.
I asked Shin pretty specifically about whether or not they'll be able to have power afterwards, and he did say yes, just it's going to be altered, and that we're doing the altering.
That's not what. That's different from what you're saying. That's
How?
Not will their dream be different? That's their powers, Raph.
So what you're kind of saying is taking away a person's persona. The base is still there. You're just ripping a part of them out, right?
Yes, that's basically what I gathered from asking Shin and Shizuka, and we kind of figured it out. Not much different, it sounds like.
Okay.
You want a lesson on that? Cool. Are we good?
For now, I guess.
Cool. I'm gonna go study. Ugh.
Don't forget the bad man.
Was that Mo?
That was
The
Shin's voice in Mikira's head.
The bad man?
Yes.
Ryu.
Oh, yeah, I know. She's forgetting about it briefly. She's angry.
Right. Was there anything else you needed, Raph, or are we done with all of it?
We're done for now. Rio, if I could talk to you for a second after everybody leaves.
Oh, yes, I thought... Well, yeah, we'll just kind of get this grin on his grin. Yes, I think that might be in order.
Oi, before I leave, can you at least tell me what was this doctor's name? I guess I will see him anyways, but I'm wondering if I know the guy. At least I will know what I'm getting into.
I don't think I was introduced to him, to be honest.
Dr. Kuroki.
Just do I know him, or can I make a roll to know him? Because I'm wondering if this is the same guy that looked at me and saw that I'm really shiny. Or was it a different doctor? I remember that scene.
You don't? I don't remember that scene. Can you remind me of that scene?
There was that scene that I met with one of the doctors. He looked at me and, wow, you are really bright. So,
Oh yeah, I think you did meet him once.
Yeah, she met him when she was taking Masoka in. After she collapsed like an autist.
Whoa.
Met him for like a second and saw... I don't think you saw any name or identification. You just saw a doctor.
Yeah, he doesn't wear a name tag or anything. So, that would be a knowledge roll, yeah.
Okay. Because for a long time I was like wondering...
Here's his name. I saw a man who looked like he had that name. What do you mean that'll be a knowledge roll? How could she possibly put two and two together?
She doesn't.
I saw a doctor once who looked like that exact person!
Yeah, recollecting from description. Anyways,
Raph, give a description.
I don't
Like,
recollect it. Nitpickers.
Reiko doesn't know whether there's more than one doctor at the academy or not. So she doesn't know if it's the same one. There we go.
Well, later.
You said Kuroki-san?
Yes.
Oh. I think I heard of him. Back at Hiroshima. Apparently he makes a lot of trips there. Oh! So he's the one assigned to Shin?
I guess I do a quick did you meet this person?
No, I just heard about him. He visits Hiroshima a lot. But you're saying so he's attending Shin, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is just my speculation, but I think he's, studied Shin a little bit, but not this closely.
Well, he might know something about him. Back at Hiroshima, there's some statues of, was it Minamoto and Shin, Jess?
It was, Minamoto looked like himself, and Shin was more of an abstract one.
Right, yeah. They actually have some old statues commemorating people in the old domain. One's Minamoto, and one's, well, it doesn't look like Shin, but it's called Truth. So it's probably supposed to be him. I'd be surprised if Dr. Kuroki's been there so many times and hasn't seen the statues at least once. He might have an idea of linking Shin back to that.
Alright, that's good to know.
Well, I want to talk to him at some point, so at least I know where to find him.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, thanks for the meeting, Raph. I mean, it's good to be confirmed on things.
The main thing, by the way, just for you two, is do I send him a text that you're okay with him visiting or not?
Oh, well, if Shin ever needs to talk to me, sure.
Okay. I didn't want to basically volunteer you guys without you guys having input on that.
You wouldn't want to have that for a second time.
Thanks. Well, I guess I'll let you guys get to your boy chat. Genda, can I talk to you about something, by the way?
Oh.
I'll help you clean up while we talk.
Sure.
Great. Night.
Bye, Karu. Good night. Do you want to do it with Karu or us?
Well, given that one of them doesn't involve doing anything.
Got it.
Spicy.
I don't know where you are, but we have a small problem with Ryu and Shin.
Do we now?
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, I told you that Shin got pretty pissed at me when I did that. When I did my screw up, and I think he's basically definitely telling us that basically Ryu needs to basically
Ryu.
So thank you. Ryu basically we need to basically wrangle him in. Not exactly Shin's words, but the point is he's definitely saying that we need to get Ryu with Shin's program, because he's saying that if we don't, it's all screwed for all of us. I get the impression it's an all or nothing type of deal here.
Right. Well, thank you for informing me of that. I was just going to kind of tilt his head back for a second and then go, you know, I already knew most of this stuff.
Alright.
While it is important to disseminate this information among all of us, I do have to question the efficiency of having a meeting every night.
I don't normally do this, but I basically figured the main thing was basically just, as I said, 10 seconds to tell you guys about the dream, and then just to get you guys caught up. That's why I was willing to do that during the dinner table, but I'll try and cut this meeting down stuff. The other thing also is we really need to get on the ball in this.
I would think that a more expedient way of informing everyone would be, well, Rio just kind of taps on the table for a second and goes, well, if it's really so quick to tell us, you could simply send each of us an email. Then we would all have the information. If we're not going to discuss something, that probably would be best in the future. And about the Ryu thing, well, I know. Shin hasn't just complained to you, he also complained to Kazuhaya-san about this, and she came to me asking for my advice about the doctor incident and about Takanaka. Ryu,
Go.
we intend to have a few words with him.
Alright.
What do you mean we need to get on the ball?
Well, I came in 2 months late, but I figure from what it sounds like, he contacted you guys on your first day when you got to the school, right? Or
prior to that.
So, from his point of view, we've been at this for 5 months, and we haven't done anything really. Shin's concept of time isn't exactly basically ours.
I think Shin understands time.
Yeah. I get the impression that basically we need to start moving. We need to have a result or two under our hat sometime in the near future. Otherwise, Shin's. There's a chance that Shin might try and go collecting the cards himself.
Oh, I very much doubt he'll do that. Especially with this doctor following him, and especially with the fact that he doesn't seem capable of leaving the school without our assistance.
How do you...
Even before the winter break, he was showing some signs of weakening. Being at the border of the school gave him considerable discomfort, and now, according to Akira and some other people, he hasn't left the nurse's office for quite some time.
Huh. I got the impression that basically it could be the fact that he doesn't have any cards, quote unquote.
Oh, perhaps it could be any number of things. That would probably be the most logical explanation. Still, if he's giving you any indication that he's becoming impatient and is going to act himself, I'd think that's probably a bluff. I doubt he can. Otherwise, he wouldn't need us. I get that he's becoming impatient, but... well...
Just because he can't do something doesn't mean he won't try to do something at some point. That's all I'm trying to say here. I'm just saying we really need to get on this ball.
What do you mean by that?
We need to figure out how we can do and get into this element, and then actually go get a card. I'm not saying basically we need to do it tomorrow. I'm just basically saying we don't even know how we're supposed to do this. I know it isn't a major thing, but he also told me that I can also shortcut that the fact that we need to be connected with the people before we go into the card is a problem, because if we're not well associated with them, we won't be able to get in. Though he told me I have a loophole in that I can also just sort of pull my shirt down a little bit, show off, some of the geeses. I think I can use one of these to get in regardless.
Rio's just gonna kind of narrow his eyes and go, "Get on the ball, get a card." Do you realize what you're saying, Dark Sun?
Yes.
It seems to me like you don't. It seems to me like, especially prior, when everyone was here and we were having our meeting, that you're trying to wrap your head around this issue in a way that it makes it better than it is. Getting the cards is going to be doing quite a bit of damage to whoever it's taken from.
Yes.
I don't intend to rush something like that.
I don't.
I don't need Shin telling me that he needs the cards. I've seen enough evidence that the world, or at least enough of it that we care about, is in trouble, and if the cards can help, which I believe they can, then I'm going to go that route anyways.
Okay. I think all I was trying to say is that we've had this agenda for 5 months. How far have we moved along on this? From 0, which we had no clue about this, to, in 5 months, our present knowledge of exactly how we're supposed to do this objective before the year's out. How far we actually know what we're supposed to be doing here. How much research have we done? How much actual time have we figured out on how we're supposed to be doing these things?
We know at
That's
least
what I'm
5
talking
people
about.
who have cards inside of them. According to Shin, we need to have relationships with these people in order to advance our stake in getting these cards. We need Shin's help in getting these cards. We know that we can acquire information from card holders from Jeffrey by playing his gambling game. We've been accruing things that would assist us in this. We simply haven't taken the prime goal that Shin wants.
By the way, I think Tsubasa we need to add to the list.
Tsubasa?
He's a card carrier. ...
Do you know what card?
No.
Right, then. Right. Rio just sighs and goes, "Okay, well, I suppose we'll have to deal with that, too." Dark, I'm going to share something with you. The fact that Shin is so obsessed with collecting his cards gives me reason to be concerned.
How do you mean?
Stop.
I can make the... Go.
He'll go, "Shin's obsessed about it in a way that I'm using that word quite accurately. It's basically the only thing he's focused in on at this point. Maybe that's because we haven't collected any so far. Maybe he would just get this way, regardless as the year advances, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that just because someone is pressuring you to do something, he'll just kind of pause and go, doesn't mean that they're thinking clearly. Shin wants his cards, but, well, we're going to get them. We don't need to be pressured by his insistence that we do it now."
I think I gave the wrong impression about that people... I get that I normally go off, half-cocked on things, and I get the impression now that people are thinking that I'm just going, like, fuck it, let's just go and get to the cards tomorrow. If that's you all know my grades in Japanese, so I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just basically saying that we need to start moving on this because our timetable is deteriorating. And due to circumstances, basically, remember, sort of pulling my shirt down, I am bound to this. Regardless of what everybody else says, theoretically, you can all walk off from this. I can't.
And what does that mean? As I recall, it's your choice to take up the geese or not. Afterwards, you may be magically bound to follow through with them, but Well, you made the decision on each of them, right?
Most of them.
I may not have any magical binding propelling me to act with this, but I still have every intent on following through with the decisions I made as well. I believe that most of the people still here in the dorms share that. Otherwise, like Hamato, they simply would have left.
I did not. Today is a very bad day for me, apparently. I was only basically mentioning the fact that I am bound to this, not that basically I was questioning that everybody else wasn't.
Yes, well, I'm of course aware that you're bound to this. He'll just kind of nod and go, that's becoming plainly evident the more of those you pick up.
Yeah.
Is it wise to put so many promises on yourself like that? Just kind of raises an eyebrow.
For the most part, I was. Short answer is I'm trying to avoid that, but situations come up where basically this become necessary. It is, after all, the way of the geese. And if you know anything about basically the way my persona is, I'm getting the impression that basically it's something it's influencing me as well. That is, after all, basically how he met his downfall by getting trapped into an unwinnable clause.
I'm not as familiar with that legend. If he met his downfall through them, why would you make them? Rio looks genuinely like questioning of that.
Short answer, because I feel compelled to make them. Horrible thing about basically stories is basically you usually die because you don't die, but I mean you're usually screwed because otherwise sane people wouldn't be doing the moves that you're doing, but you feel compelled to do them regardless. In situations where basically, in situations also where I feel that basically it's everybody's life's on the line. If I don't, kind of basically gives me a little, oh, you might want to do this, since I have two of those because of that.
Have you felt that everyone's lives are on the line if you don't?
Well, we have basically the incident with, was it the Sandman, which I'm still trying to actually clean that one up. And then, of course, we have Kulaks.
Right.
Those are both times when basically it really was yes or no. I had to basically make one with Shin due to my own screw-up. Otherwise, that would have gone badly.
You made a deal with Shin?
I told you about
when
I screwed up this, was it during summer or winter break?
Well, yes, you told me about that.
I, due to personal reasons, I made one with the demon who is in my ring, and I made one with Himiko as well. Just because, again, situations where if I didn't, I feel I basically might have burnt that bridge unrepairably. And even back then, I had feelings.
Right. Well, the matter of your body art aside, if you're not telling us get the cards now, then what do you mean when you say get on the ball?
As I was saying, I want to figure out basically exactly what this dream stuff is. As you said, we're going to fuck with people mentally hardcore. Let's see if we can find out some way to mitigate that. If we can adjust that somehow, we're not going to basically just walk in, swing a sledgehammer, and walk out. We are going to basically be altering things. Let's try and figure out how much that's going to happen, so that we can try and figure out how to basically not make it as horrible as what it is going to be otherwise. You yourself have said that. That's what I meant. Let's start actually. Before I came here, I had my nose stuck in books almost as long as I had it stuck in fights, because I needed to basically make sure that when I got to tests, I knew what I was doing. We haven't done a lot of that here. This is a pretty major thing, as you yourself are saying. So all I'm trying to say is basically, maybe it's a little bit of Shin rubbing off on me. Maybe it's just my own way, but we need to start figuring things out. We need to figure out, as you said, there are how many cards? 20, 22 cards out there. We know the location of 6, 7 of them. We don't know. We don't know how. We know that basically Shin's going to basically bring us in. We don't know. We don't even know how bonded we have to be to these people. We don't know a lot of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Let's start cleaning up those unknowns. Because right now we're doing it basically, we happen to walk across these problems, but we're not actively searching for the answers to these problems. I have the ability to basically ask a demon, a pretty powerful demon, one answer, and if I can get it right, I can actually get him to tell me the truth. I'm holding on to that. I actually have met a supercomputer that I actually befriended slightly, and I might be able to get it to help me, but I don't even know what to ask it yet.
Right. He's just gonna kind of put his hands on the table and go, well, I do agree, yes. We do need to figure out more about these cards. That's why I was so concerned when you said on the ball. I don't want to take any hasty actions. We need to find out more about these cards and about Shin. Still, there is one thing I'd ask you to consider. While finding out ways that would assist us would be helpful, and finding out ways that would allow us to mitigate whatever damage we're going to do is preferable, at the end of the day, if we're resigned on the fact that we need to take the cards in order to stop what we saw at the end, then somewhere down inside you're going to have to resign yourself to the fact that we have to take them, regardless of if there is that option or not. Sorry.
What have I... All right, Alex. I don't know how I gave the impression that I didn't accept that, but okay.
Well, it's all the... Well, you're very insistent on the fact that we can find another way. Yes, I agree with that. But in that, I find that it's quite... It gives the impression that there's a narrow-minded focus on that. I just want to make sure that everyone here is committed.
My commitment is the fact that it's an action I have to go do, which is a fucking horrible one. I would like to basically at least make sure that I've crossed every bridge that basically could maybe make this less harmful than what it's going to be. Basically, I'm about to basically beat the shit out of and break people. I'd kind of like to basically make sure, at least to my own mind, that I tried every other option, or at least I looked at every other option before I did that one.
What Shin is asking us to do, collecting these cards, I don't believe it's the kind of duty that we can come out of guiltless. Even if we look for those things. Rio's just gonna kind of shake his head and go,
I agree. I've always agreed.
Yeah.
My entire statement here is basically saying, at least for my own sake, I would like to be. I'm not going to sleep good after all this is over, but I would think I would sleep a little bit less good if I didn't even just try these elements.
Well, I'm not saying. He'll just kind of go, I would like there to be a way to deal with this that isn't the same as removing someone's persona. That's the nearest thing we can think of that might occur when we take a card. The personas are tied to a wish, a desire, the contract, and the cards are tied to the same kind of thing. I'd like it if we could find a way to avoid the repercussions of that. But at the end of the day, if the situation presents itself, if we have to take action to take this card, then we have to. There's no stalling for more research.
Yeah.
But at the present moment, we don't have that in front of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely work on my Japanese, because apparently, basically, I've been misexplaining my intentions. Then, if you believe that I'm trying to basically like hide from this or run from this.
Well, I don't believe that, but it's very confusing. After all, you focus on a point, and then you focus on a point. I like to bring up the fact that that's not all we should be looking at, and then you say you were thinking about the other thing the entire time. I can quite agree with that, but it does make it seem as though... He kind of pauses. It does make it seem as though these talks are a bit redundant, even though clearly they're not, as I had misunderstood some of what your intentions were, when they were actually in line with what I thought we should be doing.
I'll try and work on basically that. It's always been a problem of mine, communicating.
Right.
Anyway. So...
yes, so there is some things that we can do if you want to try and get additional information. Something that will require yours and mine's cooperation on.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, the ability that Shin gave you gives the ability to read information from stuff, yes? We did so before several times. One time even to get information about Shin, yes?
Yeah, I remember that.
The ability that Shin gave me allows me to reconstruct objects from pieces of them and even instill additional qualities into them. Several other people at this dorm have abilities that would be useful for gathering information. Just, without the addition of Kazuhaya-san, just with you and me, it might be possible to get more information out of some of the things that Shin has given us.
Okay.
Would you be interested in that?
Absolutely. These are the outcomes I was hoping my conversation was going.
Good. I was considering this earlier today. I've already spoken to Kazuhaya about it. She's on board. Himura-chan would also be helpful, as would... Well, actually, I'm not sure how helpful Fujiwara-san would be, aside from the fact that she could use those spirits to make them more permanent. But anyways, the simplest things we can do is what we've been given from Shin, the cards that he gave us that are now, I believe, torn to pieces. My ability is able to reconstruct them, and if I'm capable enough with it,
hold on
I
one
can
second,
even...
hold on a second.
Okay. Yeah. That's a shame. I liked that spirit. Oh well.
Everything.
TLDR of Reiko's SFX from Shin is that she can make a copy. That's the TLDR.
What?
What?
Of
Sorry.
Reiko's SFX.
Oh, yeah,
Instead
right.
of another
Her
conclusion.
overshine thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm on temporary baby duty, so
Okay.
Well, so don't get used to spirits, Lemon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know she's planning to lose them.
Alright, back.
Right. Welcome back. He'd be like, the cards which Shin gave us, which are now torn up, they're not the cards we need to collect, but they have a connection to Shin. If I use my power on them to reconstruct them, and I use it well enough, they can get some influence from the arcana they're connected to. In that case, you might be able to read something out of them.
Alright. Does your ability work on, like, organic or just the cards?
Interesting point. My ability doesn't seem to work on organic or living material, unless it's altered by Kazehaya's ability.
Oh, okay. That's why you mentioned her earlier.
Yes. Which means that, well, it may be possible we can extract even more out of, well, the process we did last time to figure out exactly how old Shin is. If you don't remember, we used your distinction reading on his hair.
No, I remember.
Okay.
Alright, so not to rock the boat here, but basically, when do you think we should do this experiment?
I don't want to work on the cards or Shin's personal effects without the assistance of everyone else, but well, I suppose there is something we can look into immediately. I had been meaning to see what was about with those things. Perhaps it will be interesting to see your opinion on them. And Rio will just kind of get up and go, this morning after those dreams last night, my persona brought me something rather interesting, I suppose. A set of torn chain links. Perhaps, just perhaps, it has something to do with Shin.
If you want, we can read it right now. I can take a look at them right now.
Oh, yes, that would be quite helpful.
Hell, I actually, dealing with my father, I actually learned an even deeper element of understanding reality itself. The reason why I'm always carrying a guitar now is because I can basically rewrite things.
Rewrite things. You'll have to tell me about the implications of that someday. It sounds useful, but then again, most vague things do. Anyways, would you like to see them?
Sure, let's go.
Rio will get up and we'll lead Raph over then to his room, where we will examine the Shin's chains. Ooh.
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh.
This is not a good idea. How is it scandalous? All right, he's American.
You get out the chains.
Yes, the chains. They're all broken and stuff. These are them. So, what do you make of them?
Well, let's find out.
You know how things are really black, but you can't see anything in them?
Yeah.
It's that color.
Neat.
Alright, let's hope I don't get bad.
So, are you trying to find out distinction?
Yeah. I'm using the neutral elements, so just to gain. I'm mainly going for the reading, not necessarily to basically make them better or worse.
Oh, so you have a plus 13 in neutral? Okay.
Yeah, I've raised them all to at least. They're all
30s?
Where is it? Except for my mapping, which is a 40.
Okay. All right. Well, this chain, it has... Let me think for a bit.
Okay,
Okay.
it's fine. I'm also later, when he's done, going to use my power to reconstruct the chains and see what they do. And then this scene will probably be done.
Yeah.
The only question is, should I reconstruct them as an asset or a complication?
What do you think the difference would be?
I don't know. If it's a complication, they might wrap something up.
Well, the
And
most logical
then,
thing.
then I could stick it in my book.
This is taking longer than I thought because I don't want to say something I regret.
You're right, complication could be bad. Oh, you're right, it could hurt Shin. I don't want to actually do that. Because I still like him, I just distrust some of the things he says.
Yeah, that's the only problem with obsessive people. They tend to basically, not be calm.
Yeah.
Alright, so the chain, from what Raph has managed to find out, the chain has 3 big distinctions.
Ooh.
It has the world,
Okay.
you,
Okay.
and I.
Okay.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
just by itself.
And I take it that not the organ.
Yeah. I take it you mean the personal pronoun.
Yes.
Okay, good. Eyes are my thing.
You and I. Alright, so those are the 3 distinctions. And he gets this feeling that there's a lot more in there, but those are the ones that are, have substance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Right.
So, should we write them down?
Probably.
No, they don't get a description. That is the description.
The world, you, and I. Well, that's great. We'll need to come back to this later with more powerful SFXs.
Yeah. Alright, you want to call it a night? I'll see if I'll talk with my father a little bit about seeing if I can get a little bit more reading and understanding out of what I can do before I attempt anything like that, because it's a little bit more dramatic.
I see. A bit complicated, perhaps?
In effect, I can look into and understand pretty much anything. It's just a matter of how much I push myself into it. Once I can do that, I can use that knowledge to change events around me, effectively basically getting rid of chance and basically writing into it my own statement about what is about to happen.
Right. That sounds interesting, and I'd like to hear more about it, but... I would advise not doing that on anything that we've gotten from Shin yet.
Oh, I suppose there is one thing. It wasn't obvious. It feels like you only see little bits of it, but you feel like it's much bigger than it looks like.
Got it. I do also say it's the other thing also is there's a lot there that we can't see. But it's there, if you know what I mean.
But we can't see, but is there. Interesting. Well, I was intending to try something myself. I suppose I can do that now.
Alright.
Let's see if I kill myself with a natural one. I mean, I can do better than that.
Do you attempt it?
Roll.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. You know what? Being lower might be funnier, and it's the end of the day. Yep. I knew it would do that. It literally always does that.
Yeah.
Alright, can you guys roll me your courage?
Oh crap.
No. No.
Yeah.
You
Can I
forgot
spend a
to
point to
put
add
the
my
right-
intuition to
Leave
this
the
since
name.
I don't want to run away in terror?
7.
No, it's just happening immediately.
Got it.
Alright, you guys, you feel,
Oh, well.
alright, so what will happen is that the chains that you can see, they will start to link together, and they will pull out your personas and bind them together.
What?
What?
That's...
Not by, like,
Yeah, okay.
you rolled low, so it won't be, like, tightly. But it will link onto the chains that they have already.
I imagine
the
that's
fuck?
uncomfortable considering we rolled courage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rio will be taken aback. He wasn't expecting that. The chains pulled out both of our personas.
Yeah, you rolled low, so it was just in this room.
Mhm. Oh, I could have done everyone? Fuck. Thanks,
Okay.
Rio rolls. I know they're coming every time. But yeah, that will be... Rio will be taken aback. And
Remember, this is an asset.
Yeah.
So,
it's an asset, so it's supposed to be helpful. Rio was trying to help, but this isn't. Rio is confused. Rio would probably, even though he holds himself together, end the effect by just shock of that was unexpected.
Yeah. Rapsol, what the hell?
Well, that was interesting.
they'll go back into you guys. They won't stick around.
Do we now have like a chain connecting us? I mean, are they still seem to be bound together?
No, he dispelled it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What just happened?
I don't know. But the chains... Their reconstructed form appears to have connected to our personas.
Which means they're probably connected all the time and we just saw it this time.
Looks down at Lynx, and he goes, so it would appear. Anyways, I think that's enough for now.
Yeah. I think I'm agreeing with you. I have homework.
Yeah,
Homework, at least my Japanese.
go take care of that.
Alright. Bye.
Okay, goodbye, Raph. There, we talked.
You talked. Alright. So, I guess we'll go to Genda and Kahun.
Oh. Very good. It made it sound like you were vomiting at the thought of it.
That's what my vomits sound like?
I don't know. I'm not a big connoisseur of them.
Yeah. Let's hope we don't ever actually hear you vomit to know for certain.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to piggyback onto making the Ryo Akira go talk with Ryu chat happen now, Jess? You actually want to speak?
I mean, I can't have it all at once. I gotta space it out, my dude. I gotta space out my breaks.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Anyway. So I guess they're doing like the dishes or something.
Yes. Alright. And I guess Genda will initiate, and she'll be like, so, did you want to ask me anything?
Maybe. Was that obvious?
You don't usually see me cleaning up.
Well, I mean, things stay clean here, so I thought someone had to be doing it.
Well, I prefer to be seen not doing it. It loses the mystique.
Oh. I mean, if you really don't want help with it. But I figured it must be a pain to do.
It preoccupies you. But anyway.
Well, I guess I just wanted to ask some things. After the trip, I guess it just put some things into perspective for me. What was Mom like at school?
Do we like did you hear it from her yourself, or?
What do you mean?
Oh, right. Missus, I meant from Kobashi-gawa herself. There's a distinction.
Just Meadoweyes, what the fuck is she talking about?
Raph's mom.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Genda tell her?
I don't remember.
Remember the fucking talk she had a long time ago?
Yeah, but she wouldn't have said it unless she heard otherwise. But anyway. I honestly don't remember if she brought it up first or Kahari heard because of what Raph said. Hey, my mom needs you guys, by the way.
Yeah. I remember Genda telling her they went to school together or something. I figured that would be more... Alright, whatever. I mean, I guess what do you want it to be?
You can continue where I left off.
Yeah, but I mean, I just want you to say when do you think she
thought
heard
Raph
this?
told everybody casually.
Okay. So that happened first, you think. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I heard it from Raph. Technically.
Well, I suppose the trait runs in the family when it comes to loose conversation.
Oh! I figured that was from his dad's side.
No. The opposite.
Oh.
But anyway, your mother was... well, she liked to indulge herself in the arts. She was very optimistic. She knew what she wanted to do and how to get there, and she didn't plan on getting there alone.
Really?
She was always one to try and lift the mood when everybody else was down in the dumps. She was like a twinkling light in the sky.
What happened then?
I suppose we grew up.
No, I'm just gonna fucking see how well Kaharu phrases this. Oh! I guess. Yeah. I never really hear stories about it from her, so I didn't know it was such a nice time. I figured it was just normal, or she didn't like it.
when it comes to our school life together, it's something that none of us bring up anymore. It is a relic of the past. We've all changed.
Was that really just all growing up?
Hmm. And she'll think for a bit, and then she'll just answer with yes.
Right. Sounds like you might know my mom better than me.
Hmm. Do I really?
I think so. At least recently. She didn't take Dad too well. Passing away.
Then I've seen as much as you have.
Oh.
No, I'm afraid that part of your mother won't be coming back.
Yeah, I was afraid you'd say that.
Yoon has changed.
Right.
Hmm. There was one thing that I think hasn't changed, though.
What is it?
She loved flowers and candles.
Really? In Cars, mind she's just thinking about the neat shithole. And like, how the fuck would flowers grow there? Not maliciously, I'm just short-terming it. More just surprised.
You want to roll your understanding? I'll give you a +2.
Thanks. Damn, I'll spend a PP to add intuition if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about how I might change Cars out. Oh, a
Right.
+2. +8, and that's just my normal understanding. Look at you, Koharu.
Remember there was that shed
Oh, yeah.
where they used to do the sculpting?
Yeah.
And it kind of had like a part of it was a greenhouse.
Oh, yeah. I imagine it's fallen to disrepair by now.
Also, remember the gift Chris gave to Naomi and it ended up being a castle while she was... Not a castle, a candle while she was in
Candle.
the nurse's
Of
office.
course I don't remember that.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't pay attention to Chris.
Anyway,
I left for those scenes.
Chris gave Naomi a candle, and the candle was the 20 XP trigger a memory.
Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna smell my scented candle to get immersed right now. Oh.
Kahara would know that the only candles that are lit now are on her father's shrine. And the candles would
that
be
was eloquently sad.
Well, but you haven't been to the shed. You didn't go when you're on holiday. It's kind of seemed like the place is a bit dusty. But you don't know if there's flowers in there anymore. But
she did more sculpting when Dad was alive, and once he passed, all of that was a little awkward.
Yeah, you don't know if there's still flowers in there, but you get the feeling that there is.
Huh. Oh. I didn't know she loved those so much.
It was a part of her persona.
Oh. What was her persona?
Halakungi.
Should I do a knowledge roll?
You wouldn't fucking know.
Unlucky.
Korean god.
Oh. Right. Just another thing, I guess I didn't really, too much about.
No. Your mother changed her name to a more Japanese one to try and, well, hide that facet of her family. It was something that I wouldn't call it sane, but it was something that she wasn't ready to bring up. When it came to Kokusai Haigo, you had to have some heritage that was international.
Really? It was all just a melting pot? That must have been pretty hard to communicate with people. I know that dark can be a bit trying, but everyone... Oh.
Well, Kokusai was the first of its kind to try and integrate with the mythological community, though it wasn't as open as the Academy is now.
So it was like a pre-existing trial for the idea of Mirai? At least, they probably got the idea from them.
I suppose they did.
Kind of understanding.
Yes.
I'm adding intuition.
All right.
Do you like my meme? No, never mind. I like being an innocent character. I can say things that I'm spooked about without sounding like a crazy person.
What are you trying to understand?
Oh, I know what she means by you could say that.
I mean, she looked like she took some time to think about whether it was true or not, and she came to the conclusion that there was truth in it.
All right, cool. Just curious. I want to see if that sentence was loaded.
Wow.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for, buddy.
I know. I'm just saying what Kaharu figured out.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Think of it as an olive branch after, well, you couldn't exactly say we had a stellar performance in the international field in the last century.
Who's she? Metalheads. Who's she referring to as we?
The country.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess it's been a bit trying. Well, I never really used the